All right, let's talk about India for a second. It's a real paradox, right? I mean, how can one single country have landscapes that feel like they're from completely different worlds? That's what we're going to break down today, this insane diversity. We're talking from the highest peaks you can imagine all the way down to these stunning coral reefs. So let's dive right in.
And that really is the big question, isn't it? It's what this whole explainer is about. How on earth does one country hold so many completely different, almost contradictory environments? It's like a giant geographical puzzle. And, the best way to start unpacking it is to look at the absolute extremes.
Okay, so let's start at one end of the spectrum, the Himalayas. And when I say Himalayas, picture this, a huge, high-altitude desert. You've got the tallest mountains on the planet looming over you. It's this world of just raw, stark beauty. Got that image in your head? Good. Now hold on to that because in the very same country, you can find this. You're drifting on a houseboat, surrounded by the quiet, lush, green backwaters down south. I mean, it's not just a different view. It's a different climate, a totally different vibe, a whole other world. And believe it or not, we're still not done with the contrasts. You can also find this. We're talking pristine coral reefs, just buzzing with life in these beautiful, warm turquoise waters, miles and miles from the mainland. So think about that for a second. Icy peaks, serene backwaters, and tropical reefs. That's the mind-blowing range we're going to explore. All right, let's kick things off at the top of the world, the mighty Himalayas. Now, it's really easy to just think of it as one big block of mountains, right? But it's so much more than that. It's actually a whole collection of wildly different landscapes and experiences.
Yeah, the Himalayas are definitely not a one-size-fits-all kind of place. You've got Ladakh, which is all about that stark, high-adventure terrain. Then, just next door, you've got Himachal Pradesh with its green, lazy valleys. Head a bit further east, and suddenly you're in Sikkim with its amazing biodiversity, or Arunachal with its unique culture. Oh, and you can't forget the famous tea gardens of Darjeeling. It's this massive, incredibly varied world all on its own.
Let's really zoom in on that contrast for a second because it's pretty wild. On one hand, you have Ladakh. This place is a high-altitude, cold desert. It's all about adventure, trekking through these massive, dramatic landscapes. But then you travel a bit south, still in the same mountain range, mind you, and you land in Himalaya Pradesh. Suddenly, it's all green valleys, apple orchards, and charming hill stations made for relaxing. See what I mean? Same mountains, completely different worlds. And it's not just about the general vibe either. The Himalayas hide some truly unique ecological wonders. I mean, if you head over to Meghalaya in the northeast, you'll find these incredible living root bridges. These are actual bridges, guys, literally grown from the roots of trees. It's this amazing example of people and nature working together over centuries. It's almost like nature itself is the architect. Okay, so let's come down from the mountains and head into the plains and forests, what you might call India's wild heartland. This is where you'll find some of the most famous animals on the planet, and each one has its own special sanctuary, a place that's just perfectly built for it. You know, what's so fascinating here is just how specialized these habitats are. Every big-name animal is linked to a very specific kind of landscape. For instance, the one-horned rhino, you're only going to find it thriving in the grasslands of Kaziranga. The last of the Asiatic lions, they're hanging out in the dry forests of Gir. And if you want to see a Bengal tiger, you could head to the Cinderbans, the biggest mangrove forest in the world, where these tigers have literally learned to live in the water. The animal and its home, you just can't separate the two. And then you've got a place like Ranthambore in Rajasthan, which is just something else. It feels like you're in a movie. Because here, the tigers aren't just in some random forest, they're roaming around the ruins of these ancient forts. It's this unbelievable, almost surreal mix of wildlife and human history all in the same shot. Just incredible. Okay, so we've done the mountains, we've done the forests. Let's head for the water. India's coasts and its inland waterways serve up a third, completely different kind of natural experience. You can almost think of India's water journey in 3 steps. First, you start inland. Picture yourself floating on a houseboat through that calm, green maze they call the Kerala backwaters. Then, step 2, you hit the coast itself. We're talking the classic, sunny beaches of a place like Goa. But for the final step, you've got to go way off the mainland, out to the remote coral paradises like the Andaman or Lakshadweep Islands. And what makes those islands true paradises is the whole package. It's not just a nice beach. It's the combination of 3 things. You get the perfect sand, you get that crystal clear turquoise water that's amazing for diving, and you get these lush tropical forests that basically touch the ocean. It's the whole marine ecosystem, right there in one spot. So when you step back and look at it all, from the highest of high peaks to those deep coral reefs, you realize India is this huge, incredible tapestry of nature. It's pretty amazing. Let's just pull all these threads together one last time. So think about the contrasts we've just covered, right? We've gone from stark Himalayan deserts to quiet tropical backwaters. We've jumped from wildlife sanctuaries for tigers and rhinos to famous beach towns and misty hill stations. And the really crucial thing to remember isn't just that all these places exist, it's that they all exist inside the borders of one country. That's what's so wild. And really, that's the main takeaway here. It means that no matter what kind of traveler you are, India has a piece of nature for you. If you're an adrenaline junkie who wants to climb mountain passes, check. A wildlife lover dying to see a rare animal, got it. Or maybe you just want to chill out on a perfect beach. Yep, that's here too. There's a version of nature for everyone. Which brings us to the final question, really. After seeing this whole incredible spectrum, from those freezing peaks all the way to warm coral reefs, you kind of have to ask yourself, which piece of that amazing tapestry is calling your name? Where would you even begin your journey?